So there's a couple different ways to register your plate to or register your paper to your plate. So one way to do it is, first of all, after you cut your paper to size, then you fan out your sheets of paper. You fan it out and you mark the center point. So this, so it depends on the orientation of your plate that you would mark. So you know, if the plate is not going to be able to go through the press this way, you're going to have to run through this way. You just need to mark the paper. You just need to mark the center of the paper. So let me just mark the center of the paper. So this is 10. I'm going to mark 5. Gonna mark it like that. See, I just drew a little line, and I'm gonna fan it out to the other side. I'm just gonna mark it just like that, and then I'm gonna put like a little T mark, just a cross hair that goes this way. So it looks like this. So I just marked it. It's called T and bar. So T and bar helps you register the paper after your paper is soaking. Then you can place it on top of your registration mylar, which would then be marked. So one other way, I'm gonna show you, and it'll make sense in a moment. So if I have this, say if I have this piece of paper, you don't have to do the T and bar, but you can draw where the paper, like the paper, you can draw where the paper lies, right? And so I drew a stencil, or I drew around my piece of paper. You can't really see it, so I think you can see it, but let's see. Well, I drew around this sheet of paper, and the next thing I want to do is mark the center. This is 7, so 3.5. I'm just gonna draw a center line. And then if I have a plate that I know I'm gonna use, so you want to maybe, so I don't want anything, I want it an equal, distant, centered plate. So I'm gonna just mark you can measure it to see if it's centered. I think I can eyeball it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna just draw around my plate. Do this before you ink up your plate. So then you have this template. So when you're finished inking up, you already have this prepared, this registration sheet with the paper outline and the plate outline. I'm doing this because I didn't cut this down. It won't run through the plate, run through the press, because it's a little too wide. So this is something that I would put underneath the mylar sheet. As a registration jig. So, let's see. Then, so it's kind of loose. And then I'm gonna put this underneath my mylar sheet. You see, this is kind of taped down. So it's not really centered, so I'm gonna cut it a little bit more. So it's a little off center, so I'm gonna just trim this a little bit so I could center this on the press bed. So it's centered. I'm gonna put it underneath the press, underneath the mylar. If you need to loosen this, you can loosen it. So center this template underneath your mylar sheet. Just gonna tape that. Then put the blanket back on. Tighten it a little bit. And then get it ready for printing.